there, I'm Amy.Connell. Welcome to Graced Health, the podcast for women who want simple and grace-filled ways to take care of themselves and enjoy a little chocolate. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach who wants you to know your eating, movement, and body don't have to be perfect. You just need to be able to do what you're called to do. Throughout the month of December, I'm doing something a little different. I am spending time over on Instagram going live with 8 honorable mentions as an addendum to my book, Your Worthy Body. So if you have been with me for a while, you know that I just released a book called Your Worthy Body, Find Freedom and Health by Breaking All the Rules in November. And in it, it has 22 rules to break. These are rules we've possibly and probably heard about our health that oftentimes don't necessarily motivate us or inspire us in the way that they are intended to. And in fact, they can create shame surrounding our health. And so I am trying to break this mindset, change our mindset about our body, our food, our movement, how they all work together. I'm offering these addendums live on Instagram, but then I wanted to take them and give them to you because I know some of my community, and this may include you, only connect here through your ears through podcasts. And I know that because that's how I am with a lot of the people I like to connect with. I don't necessarily go back and forth on Instagram or Facebook or certainly not Twitter. I'm hardly ever over there, but I love connecting on the podcast. So I am doing what I call being kind to my future self. And I wanted to continue showing up in December. And I'm also wanting to ease up a little bit in my own responsibilities and my output. So for the month of December, I am taking these Instagram lives and replaying them here on the podcast. Of course, if you have not gotten your copy of Your Worthy Body, then I have a link in the show notes below. You can certainly go get that. And let me tell you, get one for your sisters, get one for your Bible study friends, get one for your book club friends, get one for the girls you go out to dinner with, because this is who it is for. It is for the sisterhood of women who are ready to change their mindset. Okay, let's jump in. Hello, everybody. Okay, right out of the gate, I have to admit that the subject and the title of today's topic, leave your problems at the door, check out whenever you enter the door, is something I have said, and I am guilty. So particularly if you have been in my classes before several years ago, this is something that I used to say all the time, and I was wrong. We're just going to say that. I was wrong. I used to teach a class and it was a wonderful, it was a great combination of high intensity training. We did a lot of functional movements. We did a lot of core movements. It was basically like strength and then higher intensity stuff and then core and several rounds of it. It was very fast paced. It was 30 minutes. It was a fantastically, is that a word? It was a very well designed class. It was something that I got certified to teach. One of the things that I used to tell people is I used to point at the red door and I'd say, leave your problems when you walk in that door, because I want you focusing on this week workout. And I just didn't know any better. It's the bottom line, because what I am learning, and I'm not an expert. I actually have a wonderful expert coming on the show in early 2022 to talk some about this. But what I am learning is the state of our mind and the state of our stress level are so intertwined with our body and its ability to react to what you're asking it to do and how it's going to perform. And if it will be able to do that well, in a thriving way, or in a way that it's going to revolt and say, and no, I'm not doing this, and leave you injured or leave you with a tweak. This is something I'm really, really learning, but our motion is intimately tied with our emotion. It used to be that I really kind of felt like this was we cut it off at the head, right? And like everything that was going in our head, we could ignore for a period of time and we could just focus on what the body is doing. But what I'm learning is that's not the case. And our body gives us all of these amazing ways of providing feedback and talking back to us. And it is such a, it's obviously it's living and breathing, but it communicates with me. My body communicates with me more than I ever realized. What I want to do today, I just jumped in like without saying what I'm doing. So if you're new here, by the way, what I'm doing is I am doing some honorable mentions to the chapters to my book, Your Worthy Body, which is a compilation of several health rules, rules using quotes that we need to break. And I use that using exercise science, nutrition science, and overdone or overlaid with through a lens of faith. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm in this little series of doing honorable mentions, and I'm doing them here on Instagram, as well as posting them to my podcast, because I recognize that people connect with me in different ways because I do the same thing. But I want to give you 3 things to consider rather than just saying, okay, we're leaving our problems at the door. We're leaving our troubles at the door, and we're just working out. So one of the things that I think that we can really do, and this is going to sound really woo-woo. Okay. I'm admitting it. This sounds super woo-woo, but I've done it and it works, is we're going to talk back to our body. I have shared that I love doing sprints, and I will go out to the local track and do these sprints every now and then. There was one time when I'm running along and I was feeling pretty good. And then my left hip flexor started kind of being like, Amy, hey, and just giving me some feedback. And this is what I said. I kid you not. I said, you are safe. And I am not going to take you out of the space where you are comfortable. And I'm going to back off just a little so we can do this together. And I still got a fantastic workout. I still got my heart pumping. I achieved my goals of the day of how many of those sprints I wanted to do. But when I specifically talked to that hip flexor, and I know this sounds so weird, but you guys, God designed our brain and our body to work together in a certain way. He didn't just do our brain and then do our body and expect for them not to work together. So I know it sounds kind of woo-woo, but I also believe that this is a gift that God gave us, and the ability to communicate with our body. So I told my hip flexor, I was like, you are safe, and I am not going to take you out of the space where you feel comfortable. And that worked really well. So I think when we are aware of those little tweaks or barks or uncomfortableness or something that was fine when we started working out, and then it starts picking back up. And it may be that you walked in having had an argument or a stressful conversation on social media, or maybe work just piled on and you're thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Absolutely come in, get your movement in, get your exercise in, do what you need to do to take care of yourself so you can go and finish that conversation, or you can finish the project at work. But also honor the state that you're coming in with your brain. So that might be saying, okay, we're working, we're moving hard, and then something starts to feel funny, and talk back to it. And not in a bad way, not like in a teenagery way. Talk back to it saying, I see you, I recognize you, I know we're here, and I'm not going to disrespect how you're feeling. And just see what happens. It may be that it kind of backs off and you feel fine, or you're able to complete your goals for the day or complete the workout, and then you can get back out there. So that's one thing. Talk back to your hip flexor, talk back to your calf or your knee. And that actually goes to point number 2, which is adapt as you go. If you are moving along and that hip flexor starts working up, or your knee starts tweaking, or, I kind of have a bum shoulder, so maybe my shoulder starts acting up, I will adapt. I don't quit. We talked about not quitting earlier. So I pivot that and I will adjust and adapt to what my body's telling me. Maybe it's I don't go as fast. Maybe it's I don't lift as much weight. Maybe it is I go longer with less weight or less resistance. So adjusting and adapting to what your body is communicating with you is another important thing that you can do that might be able to help you, because my goal for you as a trainer and as a fitness educator is for you not to get hurt. Like that is almost my biggest goal. Like I want you to be able to do what you love doing and whatever brings you joy. And I don't want you to get hurt. But what happens is we can say, well, I love HIIT workouts and so we do HIIT workout after HIIT workout after HIIT workout, and it's too much and our body starts talking with us and we're stressed. And then all of a sudden that can pile on and then we get hurt and we get injured. So I really don't want that for you. And when we come in and we're not acknowledging the headspace that we're in because we think we're supposed to leave it at the door, then that takes us off balance, not, in our head and in our body. And also sometimes like in our literal balance as well, but that can take us out of the space that we need to be in order to thrive in what we're asking our body to do. And then finally, the other thing is you have permission to change your workout. You can bring that in with you and choose something less stressful. Maybe you choose yoga or a mobility workout, or instead of running and doing your sprints, you choose to walk. And that's okay, because I think that, again, that is honoring where your head is, honoring your stress level, and allowing your body to adapt to that while we're still moving and while we're still working out. I hope that all makes sense. So you don't have to check out when you leave the door. Bring that in. Bring that in. That is all of us. That is part of us. Just like I am learning that the stories of our youth really impact our emotions right now. I'm 47 years old, and there are stories from my middle school and high school years that I still carry with me, and that impact how I respond to other people, to loved ones in my lives, to assumptions that I'm making. And all of that stuff impacts how we move as well. There's so much more to this. Again, I'm learning. I'm not an expert, but consider that. Consider that. So if you are in this season right now and you are stressed and you've got a lot on your plate, allow that to come along and either talk to it in a loving way, not talk back in a snarky way, loving way, adapt as you go, or possibly change that workout. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a great day.